compassion for the fallen conditioned soul. Namo Namaha.
Oh. All right. All right. Jaya Radha Oma Kunja Behasute Jaya Radha Oma Kunja Behasute Gopi Janamalabha Ire Varadhagute Gopi Janamalabha Ire Varadhagute Yasunanandana Rajajana Ranjana Yasunanandana Rajajana Ranjana Jamuna Tira Vanachare Yamuna Tera Vanachare Jaya Radha Madhuva Kunjavi Hati Jaya Radha Madhuva Kunjavi Hati Gopi Janabanaba Iri Vadadhaguti Gopi Janabanaba Iri Vadadhaguti Yasunanandana Rajajana Ranjana Yasunanandana Rajajana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachante Yamuna Tera Vanachante Jaya Radhu Madhuva kunna bikhati. Jairad umaruva kunna bikhati. Jai Om Vishnu Pad Paramahansa Paravaticacharya also Shimad, His Divine Grace Abhaya Chatanada Bhaktivedanta Goswami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai, ISKCON Founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai, Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai, Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai. Prem Se Kaho Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shidweda Gadadha Shivasiti Gaur Bhaktavinda Ki Jai, Shri Shri Radhakrishna Gopi Gopinath Shai Mukunda Radhakunda Giri Govardhan Ki Jai, Vrindavanam Ki Jai, Mathuram Ki Jai, Jagadada Sami Ki Jai, Yamunamai Ki Jai, Srimati Tulasi Devi Ki Jai, Samveda Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai, Gaur Premananda Hari Hari Bol. All glory is the assembled devotees, all glory is the assembled devotees, all glory is the assembled devotees, all glory is to Shri Guru and Gauranga. Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai, Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prastaya Putale Srimati Bhaktivedanta Samariti Namani Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Bacharani Nivishesha Srinivadi Paschalcha Dejatarni. So today we are reading from the Srimad Bhagavatam, 10th canto, 69th chapter, text 38. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Vidhama Yoga Mayas Te Durdarsha Api Mayanam Yogeshvaratman Nirvata Bhavat Pada Nishevyaha Nivya Vidama Yoga Mayaste Durdarshapi Mayanam Yogeshvaratman Nirbhadata Bhavatpada Nishevya Vidama Yoga Mayaste Durdarsha Kapimayanam Yogeshvaratman Nirbhata Bhavatpada Nishevya Vidama Yoga Mayaste Durdarsha Apimayanam Yogeshvaratmam Dirbhata Bhavatpada Nishevya. Okay. ladies. All right. Vidama, we know. Yogamaya, the mystic potencies. Te, your. Durdarsha, impossible to see. Api, even. Mayanam, for great mystics. Yoga Ishvara, O Lord of all mystic power. Atman, O Supreme Soul. Nirvata, perceived. Pavat, your. Pada, to the feet. Nushevaya, by service. So translation. Narada said, now we understand your mystic potencies, which are difficult to comprehend, even for great mystics. O Supreme Soul, Master of all mystic power, only by serving your feet have I been able to perceive your powers. You could repeat. Narada said, now we understand your mystic potencies, which are difficult to comprehend, even for great mystics. O Supreme Soul, Master of all mystic power, only by serving your feet have I been able to perceive your powers. So there's a purport by the followers of His Divine Grace, Srila Prabhupada. According to the Acharyas, this verse indicates that even great mystics like Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva cannot fully comprehend the mystic power of the Supreme Lord. So, the commentaries by the Acharyas, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur first, we realize Vedama for Vedama, the Yogamaya potencies present in you, Atman Nirbhata, Lord of Yoga, by serving your lotus feet. Are they difficult to realize for such omniscient persons as you? That's, of course, Krishna speaking. Even to see these powers, those powers, is impossible for Shiva, the best among yogis. What then to speak of understanding them? And what to speak of executing such pastimes? And then Jiva Goswami. The Lord himself explains what has happened later. Narada, having seen all the pastimes filled with great pleasure, experienced great pleasures. But seeing the Lord's pastime of worshiping devatas, he was sad. We'll speak about that in a minute. Not revealing the mood out of reservation, he speaks revealing his mind by hints in 2 verses. I know you're a Chinta Shakti arising from your Swarupa. Chinta Shakti means inconceivable potency arising from your Swarupa, your own form, your own self. Yoga Maya. So Yoga Maya is Krishna's Achincha Shakti. Yoga Maya, of course, is the internal potency of the Lord. I desire to know why you reveal those things, or these things. Though these powers are hard to see for persons having various powers, O soul of masters of yoga, by serving your feet, these powers have appeared by themselves in my mind, O master of yoga. These powers appear in you, Atmani, for Atman arisen from your Swarup, but I know them by service to your lotus feet, or your feet. Sanatana Goswami, finally commentary. This Yogamaya is difficult to understand for persons who have attained Samadhi, or Brahman, Yoginam instead of Mayinam. This Yogamaya manifests near Mahata in yourself, Atman. This indicates that it is eternal. This is because you are the Lord of the Chit Shakti, means internal potency, Yogeshvara, because it is your special Shakti. We understand this by constantly serving your feet. The plural indicates all devotees, or indicates respect for himself on understanding the Lord. Or this Yogamaya can be understood by persons practicing yoga, yoginam. Though it manifests in the mind, Atmani, a perfected yogis, Yogeshvara, I pray to know it by service to your feet. Why are you absorbed in household dharma? Since you are the Supreme Lord, please tell me the truth by giving your mercy in the form of service. Again, the verse. Vidama yoga mayaste durdarsha apimayanam Yogeshvaratman nirbhata bhavatpada nashevya Somagana Timidanda Shagananjana Shalakya Chakshur Unmiritam Yena Tasmai Shigaravena Maha. That's right, you can leave it off because it's getting a little warm here. So, it's very interesting here that Narada was sad to hear Krishna was worshiping the demigods. At the same time, Narada is aware of what's happening with all of Krishna's, mentioned at the beginning of the purport, of all of Krishna's pastimes there, and he's seeing everything, and he's sad. So in the purport, or the commentary of the Acharyas, it mentions Narada is still not aware of something called the why factor. He's aware of what's going on, where it's going on, how it's going on. You understand? What, where, how? Because happening in Dwarka, what is, what's happening, And so how? It's by your internal potency. Krishna understands it, but why? This is a little bewildering. I'm pretty sad that you're acting like an ordinary householder here. Because you're Narayan. So what this indicates is Narada's mood of worship of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Each and every devotee has a different mood of worship. And Narada is worshiping generally Narayana in the mood of awe and reverence. We find similar circumstances or relationships, like in the case of Prahlad Maharaj, right? He's not in Vrindavan, although we do find Narada when you go to Vrindavan sometime too. But Prahlad Maharaj is in the mood of awe and reverence. The four Kumaras are in the mood of awe and reverence. So we find a vast number of devotees, I'm not saying the majority, but a very great number of devotees worship Krishna in the mood of awe and reverence. Like if you go to South India, you'll hear Om Namo Narayanaya. If you go into Srirangam or Kanchi, Om Namo Narayanaya, Om Namo Narayanaya. And it's very difficult for them to understand Krishna's two Bhagavan Swayam. I know one of my disciples keeps sending me their arguments that Krishna is an expansion of Narayan, rather than our understanding is Krishna's two Bhagavan Swayam. So it's very difficult for them to conceive of this, How is it that, this is, transcendental what Krishna is doing in Vrindavan? I mean, what's he doing it for? What's happening? And so anyway, there's this argument. All these different verses are there. And, I definitely don't argue too much about it when I'm talking to someone in that mood of on reverence. Happens to be one of our devotees who's in that mood. And I don't argue. I just say, Advaita Chuta Nadi Rananta Rupa Madhyam Purana Purusham Naviyovanam Cha. There's certain things you just don't argue about too much. Unless you happen to be Lord Chaitanya talking to Venkatapata, then you can get away with it. But generally, when I go to Sri Rangam, I don't start arguing with him, and I don't argue with this devotee. I just say, Advaita Chuta, it's all the same personality God. Whether you say Narayan's verse or Krishna's verse, I don't even bother me with that discussion. That's how I usually approach that particular situation. Although we know Krishna's tu Bhagavan Swayam, we know that Krishna's manifestation is the complete manifestation of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, because he manifests more qualities, even logically, that more qualities are being manifest by Krishna in Vrindavan than outside in Dwarka or Mathura. But we don't get into it. Just like, some people approach me with this, the verses from the Upanishads and other Vedic literatures that say, well, actually, you're supposed to chant the Hare Krishna mantra beginning with what? Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Then you get to Krishna. I said, forget it. I'm not going to talk to you about it. Doesn't matter, because Prabhupada actually mentioned that. When you start chanting Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, and then you go back to Hare, it doesn't really matter. You just added another Hare Rama, another pair of Hare Ramas there, and Rama Ramas, Hare Hares. So, there's certain things you just don't argue. So, anyway, so Narada is bewildered, because he doesn't understand the why factor. Why is Krishna just like letting his hair down, figuratively speaking, and getting into all these ordinary affairs? Om Namo Narayanaya, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. And so it's hard to understand these things. And so we also find, I found an interesting verse in this regard in the first canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, where Queen Kunti is also in that same sort of mood. And this is 1.831. It's actually one of my favorite verses. I'll read the Sanskrit. Gopyade tvai kritagasi dhamatavad yate dasarshru kalilanjana sambramaksham vaktram nirniya paya pavanaya stitasya samam vimohayati birapi advibeti. And this verse is, my dear Krishna, Yashoda took up a rope to bind you when you were committed an offense, and your perturbed eyes overflooded with tears, which washed the mascara from your eyes. And you were afraid, though fear personified is afraid of you. This sight is bewildering to me. So here's another devotee who's bewildered, because the mood of awe and reverence in which they're accustomed to worshiping the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And then we find in the words of Satyavrata Muni, in the famous prayer, the Damodarashtaka, he's not bewildered. He actually understands what's happening, the why factor. They said, O Lord, the cheeks of your blackish lotus face, this is just one verse, which is encircled by locks of curling hair, become reddened like bimba fruit due to Mother Yashoda's kisses. What more can I describe than this? Millions of opulences are of no use to me. It's interesting, isn't it? Millions. So he's not interested in any of Krishna's opulences, just like Yashoda Mai was not interested in Krishna's opulences when she looked in Krishna's mouth. She got bewildered, of course. She got bewildered by the opulences. You understand? It's the opposite. Whereas a Brajabasi doesn't get bewildered by the intimacy, he gets bewildered by the opulences. I found the juxtaposition quite interesting, isn't it? You think about it. You know, those who worship Narayan, and they just see, you know, Krishna dancing with the gopis, and they see Krishna doing all these things. It's, what's happening here? And those who are into Krishna dancing with the gopis, sorry, I should get into other pastimes, otherwise I'll miss Sahaja. So those who see Krishna with the Yashoda Mai and, you know, intimately, like getting afraid and everything like that, that doesn't bewilder them. It's just like, whatever, you know, it's normal. Well, normal. But when they hear about Krishna's opulence, let's get to a more tasty part of the Bhagavatam. You know, so different strokes for different folks. You know, some people think it's really nectar. You know, let's hear. Of course, for those who understand, Krishna's intimate pastimes, they actually see Krishna, the intimate Krishna, doing all these things. Keshavadrita, isn't it? Keshavadrita Narahari Rupa. But they don't like to hear about the universal form so much. At least I don't like to hear about the universal form. But when you hear about Lord Nrsingadev, like when I saw the movie of Lord Nrsingadev, of course I'm not a devotee, but anyway, when I saw the movie of Lord Nrsingadev, I said, boy, Krishna is so cool. But when someone in the mood of awe and reverence sees the movie of Lord Nrsingadev, they say, oh, Lord Narayan, yeah, he's saving his devotees. They're seeing it from the standpoint, of course, the why, which Krishna explains later on in this particular chapter, the exoteric why. You understand? And the Brajabasis, they see it from the esoteric why. And for example, when of course, God, I can't say I'm a Brajabasi, but anyway, so when I saw that movie, I was thinking, boy, the Lord's enjoying the anger. He's really having a good time. And he's forgetting his God. He's God. Or he's arranging all these pastimes so he can enjoy anger. And then one on the platform on reverence is, of course, oh my God, I can't talk about myself. But anyway, one on the platform on reverence is saying God saving his devotees. So you're seeing the same pastime from a different perspective. He's very angry that his devotee's being tortured. And I'm looking at Lord Nrsingadev and saying, boy, Krishna's having a good old time. You know, this is better than cricket. Better than cricket or boxing or anything like that. Just like I have one disciple who's a boxer. This is a side thing. It's his occupation. He comes to me for blessings. You'll like this, Mother. All these stories about Varnashram. So he comes to me right before the boxing match for blessings. He's just nervous. What am I going to say? You're Maya, like that. So he comes out. He says, "Can I have your blessings in this match?" This is my first professional match. And I said, "Yeah, you got to win. You are my blessings." And then understanding that, when he went out, you know, when the boxers go out to fight, they play a song, you know, their theme song. You ever seen that? No. No, you haven't watched boxing. Half your life is finished. So anyway, so when the boxer goes out, so he played the Hanuman Chalisa. So he goes out, and Hanuman, no Hanuman. So anyway, I mean, just like he, getting back to the philosophical point, you know, I can't have to be afraid of getting too far afield. So just like he's enjoying that, you know, and I was watching the fight. It was a draw because he broke the rules. He would have won. So anyway, so shouldn't have broken the rules. You know, just they're you know, there's a referee anyway, whatever. When Krishna's fighting, there's no referee. He doesn't have any rules. So anyway, he's fighting, and you know, I was watching. You know, get him, you know, because the devotee doing his service. Talk about someone's occupational duty, right? You can use that example too, in addition to the one about the man who wanted $1 trillion that I told you the other day. These are good examples for class. So anyway, so Krishna is just like enjoying, like that. Wow, that's, and Prabhupada, I was listening to class this morning where Prabhupada was saying, if you want to understand God, study yourself. I thought that was really powerful. Think about it for a second. Study yourself. In other words, not just yourself, study human beings, basically. Because whatever propensity we have, that's there in the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Janma Jasya Yataha, isn't it? Vedanta Sutra and Bhagavatam, the absolute truth is that from whom everything comes. So, so the fighting propensity, the chivalrous propensity, all these things, they actually come, what to speak of the, conjugal propensity, it all comes from Krishna. And the interesting thing is if you hear about Krishna's doing these things, then your desire to do these things in a self-centered way, at least for me, it goes away. We hear about Krishna's Rasa Leela, and basically, you don't want to have your own Rasa Leela. Plus, I can't dance. That's a problem there. Went to dance school, I stepped on all the girls' feet. So anyway, it wouldn't be a good idea. So, you just lose a desire for all these things. I used to like sports, watch sporting games like baseball and everything like that. There's no desire because you hear about Krishna's doing these Mama Virya Sambhara, isn't it? Satam Prasangam, Mama Virya Sambhara, Bhavanti Vritkarna Risayana Kata, Tejoshanadashu Apavarga Vartmani, Shraddha Vritti Ravakti Anukramishati. So this word, Mama Virya Sambhara, means that talks about Krishna's heroism. So if one hears submissively about Krishna's heroism, then Bhavanti Vritkarna, Rasayana Kata, he's going to cure your material disease. And you make spiritual progress and you get bhakti. It's so easy. It's an easy process, just, isn't it? Shravanam Kirtanam. Shushru Shro Shradana. Vasudeva Kata Ruchi. Shanmahat Sevya Viprat Punya Tirtana Shavana. Anyway. So, but then the question is, here's Narada Muni bewildered. And here, frankly, none of us are really bewildered. Hopefully you're not, unless you're on that. I'm not bewildered when I hear about Krishna doing all these things. Why is that? It's not that I'm on a higher platform than Narada Muni. Obviously, have my nose in the stool bucket of the material world. But it's an evidence of what? Prabhupada's mercy. So when I read Narada Muni not understanding the Y factor, and I'm thinking, but I know the Y factor, then it doesn't make me think, hey, that means I'm a lot better. I know something Narada Muni doesn't know. Actually, he does know it, but this is Yogamaya also covering him. This is a pastime. I'm not saying Narada Muni does know it. But for the purpose of the pastime, just like we find the interaction between Arjuna and Krishna in Bhagavad Gita, for the purpose of the pastime, Arjuna is in Yogamaya, and he's apparently not aware of things. He becomes shocked when he sees the universal form, and he says, Krishna, please forgive me. He was lying on the same bed, calling you friend, calling you, hey, buddy. And it's like he's finding something out for the first time that he didn't know. But he did know it before. So Narada Muni does know it. But what I experience, when I think that, basically, I mean, I can't say I know Krishna completely, but we know that Krishna's doing things for his enjoyment. I mean, what is the why answer? To enjoy. It's not very difficult to understand. Why does Krishna, I mean, you may not know each specific little detail, but the overriding principle is what? Bhoktaram Jagatapasam. Sarvaloka Maheshwaram, 529 Bhagavad Gita, right? Bhoktaram. I'm the bogey. That's not golf. Bogey. Anyway, I won't describe what a bogey is in golf. So, I'm the enjoyer. That's it. I'm the enjoyer. So whatever, and Krishna is Swarat. He's Aptakama. So you can figure out whatever Krishna does, it does because he wants to do it that way. We've mentioned many times before, Krishna could have killed Hiranyakashipu. I mean, he even arranged for Hiranyakashipu, what to speak of killing him. It was all Krishna's arrangement that Hiranyakashipu was Hiranyakashipu because he was one of Jai and Vijay. And Hiranyaksha was Hiranyaksha because, he was one of Jai and Vijay. So it's all Krishna's arrangement. He's just like a dramatic actor on stage. And he arranges for all the other players, too. Can you imagine you go to a play and, the leading man is also the director, what is it called, the scene manager? I'm not a playwright. The writer, the lighting director. What else is there? Mother, you know about theatrical performance. What else is there? The stage manager.
There's the sound manager, there's the
Prop manager. Yes, so Krishna's doing all those things. Yeah, he's the prop manager, stage manager, director, the producer. He pays for everything. He pays for everything. He arranges for the audience. Yeah, I mean, through his Shaktis. No, I understand Krishna's acting. Parasya Shakti Vivadaiva Shuyateshva Bhavaki Jnana Balakrit. I understand. But Krishna's arranging it. It's his will. Was that Icha? His will. By his will, the Shaktis are doing it. I'm not saying that Krishna's personally, sending invitations to the audience, to the demigods. Like we have programs, you send invitations. Let's send an invitation to Lord Brahma to watch me as Lord Nrsingadev. No, but Krishna is arranging all these things. There's Lord in the heart doing everything. I mean, he's pretty cool. So, and he could do anything any way he wants. And the way he wants it and how he does it is all arranged by Krishna. And why? For his pleasure. We often talk about this. What's the psychology of God? He's enjoying. That's it. He's enjoying. Even when Krishna appears to be depressed, he's enjoying depression. Why? When is he depressed? When Radharani leaves him. He's depressed. He has to go to Radharani and bow down and be in anxiety. Is she going to forgive me? And he's crying. Poor Krishna. Isn't it? He's crying, begging, Radharani, please forgive me. And he's really crying. He's feeling that because he wants to experience that particular ras. of sorrow, of intense anxiety. You know, and of course we know the ghastliness, all the other indirect russes are there. So it's just, Christian's amazing. So anyway, so getting back to the point I wanted to make is this: we have Prabhupada's mercy. I mean, it's just I just amazed that I can understand these things. You know, I am amazed. I said, "Oh my God, who am I?" You know, just like. I have my moments of humility once in a while. So, I mean, who am I? I mean, just a few years ago, you know, God knows what I was doing. It wasn't a few years ago. Actually, I'm a little older than that. It was half a century ago, more than half a century. But still, as look at my background. And then I understand these things, you know. I go to South India and I understand these things from the perspective of Gaudiya Vaishnavism by Prabhupada's mercy. So that means that we should always be remembering, here's the point, always remembering our dependence on Srila Prabhupada, and never think that we know better than His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada, or there's something that Prabhupada didn't tell us, or some aspect of the philosophy that Prabhupada didn't understand, or something like that, you know, or Prabhupada was using changing the philosophy to present, you know, talking about the Jiva's fall, of course, in order as a preaching technique. No, Prabhupada was giving us everything we need. And of course we approach the acharyas, but when we approach the acharyas, we should always keep in mind, when we read these commentaries, the acharyas, we should always keep in mind, as by Prabhupada's mercy we're able to approach these acharyas, or read the acharyas, or understand anything about the acharyas' writings. And so it really cements to me, this whole particular verse, and our ability to understand, and you know what Narada Muni is going through, how grateful we should be to Prabhupada and dedicate our lives to serving Prabhupada for revealing these things to us. So anyway, so we have it.
It looks like everyone's bewildered. It depends on how you're bewildered.
Yeah.
Mother Yashoda is bewildered because Krishna doesn't let her
Yeah.
and then Narada is bewildered.
Uh,
So it's all bewilderment.
Oh yeah, I'm bewildered too. I'm just bewildered with Prabhupada's mercy right now. This is what I'm expressing. That, you know, it's really bewildering to me how we could be given this knowledge. And somehow or other, yeah.
I have a practical question.
Uh-oh.
So, you know, I've been receiving messages from somebody the other way. You know, how can I convince people that Krishna is superior to Narayana? And on and on and on. And I just keep trying to say, well, I don't even care.
Yeah, don't care. And we don't try to do that.
Like, I just really don't care. And I quote him from the CC where Krishna Das Kaviraj says, you can say Krishna's incarnation of Kshirodaksha Vishnu, and that's fine. At the same time, I have to deal with the fact that Srila Prabhupada spent a lot of energy in his purports, particularly in his lectures,
Yeah.
establishing that Krishna is the auditor. And so part of me is like, well, should I get into this? And part of me is like, no, let people worship whatever form they want.
Yeah, actually, we don't want to disturb people's faith. Because, I mean, of course, I can't compare it to be like a Christians who, you know, Prabhupada said if we disturb them too much, they may become atheists like that. So, if they have that faith, and we don't find Prabhupada going around disturbing people who thought like that either. I mean, Lord Chaitanya, yeah, he could get away with it. He's God. But we don't find Prabhupada doing that at all. That's for us. We're Gaudiya Vaishnavas. And maybe the same person who's contacting you. Contacting me. I mean, just so many texts he's sending from all his friends. It's probably the same.
I finally like, stop.
I said, I just say stop. It doesn't make any difference. Believe whatever you're going to believe in. But, Prabhupada was very strong. So if we're Prabhupada's followers, then we...
So where is the place where we do that? If in general it's like whatever you want,
But look at Murari Gupta. We have to... Lord Chaitanya respected his faith. Murari Gupta didn't start saying that, that Krishna comes from Ram, but obviously he didn't have that philosophical understanding. But he was completely focused on Ram. And Lord Chaitanya just glorified him. He tested him. And so you could say to this devotee, I've been testing you all along. I can understand you're a devotee of Narayan. That's the way I would approach it. Anyway.
Maybe we just preach what Prabhupada said, and if people believe it, that's good, and if people still want to worship Narayan.
Yeah, just say, maybe you're in the wrong mood.
Yeah, maybe we should go to another.
No, but they're doing service at the temple, so I'm not going to disturb them. So, whatever. We have one lady who comes around here just going, Radhe, 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 Radhe. I'm not disturbing her. She's doing some nice service at the temple. Jai, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. What's that?
Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami Enam Kanvandam Maravindadalaya Taksham Bharavatam Samasitam Buddhasundarangam Kandar Bhagom Vidamaniya Vishesha Shobham Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami Angani Yasa Sakalem Priya Priti Manti Lasyan Dipan Dikayanti Chiram Naganti Ananda Chinmaya Sadhu Jala Vigrahasya Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindam
Adipurusham Tamaham Namago Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasnaya Shrimate Bhakti Vedanta Samenitina Midday Namaste, Saraswati Devi, Gurmani Vacha, Nege Sesha, Shunyavadi, Vachacha, Jisachane. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Chidrita Gadada Sivasati Gauraturina Dayana Shri Krishna Nirana Prabhu Nityananda Dvaita Gadada Sivasati Gauraturina Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Dvaita Gadada Sivasati Gauraturina Krishna Chaitanya Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Jai Om Vishnu Pad. Pranam Sapa, Jorya, Satashi Shimad, Abhaya Shima Prabhupada, Shila Prabhupada,
Just a reminder to everyone, we're having the big Christmas Rath Yatra at the Christmas Parade on Sunday, and the parade begins at 4. There's lots of announcements on different places. So it'd be a big opportunity to chant Hare Krishna and have a kirtan for everybody in Hillsborough. Chaitodarpanam Arjanam Bhava Mahadavagni Nirvapanam Shreya Kairavya Chandrikavitaranam Vijavadu Jivanam. Congratulations. Dress the deities today? Really nice. Thank you. Sarvatma Snapanam Paramijayate Shri Krishna Sankirtanam Nam Namakari Bahuda Nija Sarva Shaktis Tatrapitani Amitasmaranena Kala Etadrashi Tavakripa Bhagavan Mamapi Dordaiva Midrishami Hajjani Nanuraga Trinadapi Sunichena Tarorapi Suhishuna Amani Namanadena Kirtaniya Sadahari Nadanam Najanam Nasundarim Amitamra Ishakamaye Mama Janmani Janmani Ishvare Bhavadad Bhaktira Hoitaki Twai Ainanda Tanuja Kinkaram Patitam Mam Vishame Bhavam Buddha Kripayatava Bada Pankaja Stita Duli Sajashim Vachintaya Nainam Galadashu Daraya Varanam Gad Gurudaya Gira Pulakarnishitam Vapukada Tavanamagrahane Bhavishyati Yugayatam Namishena Chakshusha Pravashayatam Shunayatam Jagat Sarvam Govindam Virahename Ashlishava Padamridamanastumam Adarshanam Marmahata Karotuva Yatatatava Vidadatulam Pato Mat Prananatastusa Eva Napara. Victory to the Sri Krishna Sankirtan, which cleanses the heart of all the dust accumulated for years and extinguishes the fire of conditional life of repeated birth and death. This Sankirtan movement is the prime benediction for humanity at large because it spreads the rays of the benediction moon. It is the life of all transcendental knowledge. It increases the ocean of transcendental bliss, and it enables us to fully taste the nectar for which we are always anxious. O my Lord, congregational chanting of your holy name alone can render all benediction to living beings, and thus you have hundreds and millions of names like Krishna and Govinda. In these transcendental names, you've invested all your transcendental energies. There are not even hard and fast rules for chanting these names. O my Lord, out of kindness you enable us to easily approach you by your holy names, but I am so